let's have a little fun. I watched a video I did talking about I Am Legend and how that's one of the only black survivalist movies, books, anything that has the African American as a survivalist. And how, I love that movie. It's not realistic. Blacks, we don't really do that country stuff. We just don't. So it's more of an urban. It hits us what we know. We know that. It's unrealistic because the zombies or whatever they are. I know that movie is not the book. The actual Omega Man book is split off Hollywood. Let's talk about it. First of all, I wouldn't be running around with an AR-15 in a disaster. Without rule of law, I'm gonna have a street sweeper, especially an urban environment. I'm gonna have a street sweeper. I'm gonna have like one of them, the Galil, the Israeli rifle. I'm gonna have something like that. Like he had machine guns. I'd go out with that machine gun every day. Every day. But I'd probably be running that street sweeper a lot more. I'd have drones. Movie came out in like 2009, so I know it's a little bit kind of, that wasn't as big then. I'd have drones. Going into them buildings, I'd use drones. I wouldn't even get out. I'd be in the vehicle with the drone, having to go through the building. I'd have, what else? The night vision. I don't think he really, night vision and all that. When he got stuck in that trap and got stuck at night, I would have planned for that. The monsters come out at night. I would have had like tanks. Oh, New York's got like bunkers that they had, like 9/11 or whatever. I would fucking clear those things out and have like special locks on them and stuff. And I'd have like a bed in there. I'd have like water in there. I'd have like, like food and water and stuff that I just don't mess with. I'm not catching up on this guy. Yeah, like if we were in something like that, I would expect eventually they're gonna catch me out where I can't get home. That'd be my first thought is when I break down. I broke down before. I've blown ties with this company, Houston. Yeah, I mean, that's my first thought. What if I break down? Or what if I get sick? Or what if, I can get hurt and I have to, or there's a disaster. What if there's like a storm or something comes, I gotta bunker down. So I would get like those bunkers cleared out first. They're one of my first things. As well as he was heating houses. Now, the idea of going into each room by myself, bad idea. For one thing, there's gonna be bodies in there and stuff, decomposing food, all kind of stuff. I'm gonna, like I said, that's where I would use the drones. And I'm talking about flying drones, as well as the drones that you can throw in a window. Then they got a ball you can throw in a window. They got the ones you see, the bomb robots that can, move through. I'd have that. I see myself utilizing drones more than I do just running into buildings. Also, he didn't really have anything on his rifle. Like, I'd have a shotgun. They got a shotgun forend on the end of the AR. If I was going to use the AR, I'd have that. Like, I just don't see an AR as useful going into houses. If we're really going to be reaching into apartments in a situation like that, I don't see where AR-15 is beneficial. He was a doctor. He'd been military. He was a doctor. So for him, so he was trained on, I guess. So, okay, I'm kind of understanding of that. But I'm not really I'm a world citizen. I don't really look at the world through this American, I don't really look at it like that as much as I look at the world through a survivalist lens, which means I'm one asterisk, I'm on my own. That's kind of how I look at the world. So I don't need to have a bunch of American weapons. And maybe that's also because it's a movie for American audiences. It was a movie for American audiences. So, okay, I'll give you that. But another thing is, When you okay, if I'm at contact, I would do like Dallas White. I see myself using gas. I'd have a big can of that in the car. If I'm going into rooms, if I'm going into any houses, I'm wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask because, for one thing, something I learned recently is when you get around stuff like you get a public toilet or something and it's really, really strong, that feces is in your nose. So if there's a corpse and you're smelling and it's really strong, that's in your, like, that's nasty. As well as, you know, you're gonna have these buildings breaking down. I'm gonna be wearing a mask. That's another thing. I would focus on getting a large supply of those masks, full gas mask, not no respirator. But I got a full Avon gas mask. Okay, that'd be a big focus of mine. I probably would be wearing a rubber suit. I mean, that's not realistic, but I'm putting forward the notion of bypassing there. I'm putting forward bypass. I'm putting forward the notion of a pandemic that there's no cure. Say like a bunch of say we get hit by something big. The next wave is like a extinction level event. Let's just say that happens. Extinction level event, and a lot of people start dying. I would be very careful going to supermarkets and stuff, even after it was done with. Like, this COVID can live in a refrigerator for months. Like, I'm at the point now that when I get my stuff now, I just wear gloves when I put it in the refrigerator. Like my plastic bottles I brought water in yesterday, I just wear gloves. This thing is, you know, I don't even think it's possible. You know, I guess you could spray down everything with bleach, but I would take this very seriously. And I thought that I Am Legend was almost kind of like a black form of Walking Dead. This, I'm a man and I'm in a society where I don't have any power and everybody dies and now I'm the last man standing. You know. I think that Will Smith's character was a gregarious character. He wanted to be like the guy that goes to concerts. He wasn't a survivalist as much as he was a man forced in a survivalist situation. Yeah. I'm a survivalist. Or I'm survivalist minded. I live alone. And I can go days without talking to people. I'm fine with that. You know, he was, within like a year, he was talking to them. I think he was going crazy. What else? I would keep the military bases and the police stations. I'd be very careful about the military. I'd be very careful about both. I would use drones. I'd recon. You know, I would. I don't know what I'd go after first: police stations or those bunkers I mentioned. A lot of these stories talk about how they go into the police station and start finding stuff. I don't think so. I think that police would take stuff with them, and I think people would loot that stuff first. But I would definitely go. One thing about them police cars having the gun racks and stuff like that, that'd be very beneficial in a survival situation. What else? I mean, the movie, like I said, the movie kind of went into that idea of trying to cure these things. And I have no interest in that. If a bunch of people died, I wouldn't be like, oh, let's cure them. At risk to my own life, I'm going to cure them. Why? Okay, one thing I wondered about is how would he get back home? How would he get back home if it was like, what do you call it? If it's snowing outside and walking in snow, wouldn't that like bring them back to where he lives? It's a thought process. It's a thought pattern. I'm gonna tell you something I learned about. There's a guy on YouTube. He's got this thing. it's a big fan behind him and a parachute. He can fly around. I'd build one of those. Yeah, I would definitely. That's the goal. That's the goal. I would get a something like that. As far as like getting trapped or something, they got hover packs now that are like fucking $10,000. That you get like 10 minutes of flying or 15 minutes. I would have that in the truck. I would have that stored in different places. And if I ever got surrounded or something, that'd be the way out. Yeah, that'd be my way. It wouldn't be no shooting your way. Because you gotta think, if you're alone, if you're in a small group, and you get approached by a numerically superior force, you've already lost. You can't stand and fight unless there's no other choice. You got to try to escape and evade, whether by air, by sea, by land. Well, you've got to do that. So I would have jetpacks or something like that to get away. Let me see. My thing is just going into buildings that have been standing like that for years. I would really be concerned about water damage. Just think about like the damage you see from normal everyday stuff. I'd be concerned about water damage and things like that. What else? Claymores. Ooh, he never did this. I would have explosives all around my building and around my neighborhood. Like, I'm gonna take the neighborhood. The whole neighborhood's mine. And so if people come into that neighborhood, I'm gonna know about it. Tripwires, things of this nature, and the outside would not be explosives, because it might be people that are just scavenging. People are not violent at all. They're just trying to, they don't know I'm there. I would definitely have things like that, tripwires, motion sensors to detect people approaching. I think in that movie he had generators inside. You can't do that. That will kill you. But once again, it's all about, in that movie, they're trying to take survivalism and smooth it out to where it's like this smooth, sexy, whereas survivalism is rough. That would be a rough, austere environment to live in. There'd be all kinds of diseases floating around. You couldn't just turn the tap on. And for a lot of black folks, that would be tough. That would just be tough. Real talk. Moving on. What else? Let me see. That's about it. Yeah, that's about it. But I would definitely. I guess it depends on the disaster. If it was something and he was immune to it in the movie, which is crazy. More nonsense. He was immune to it. 1 in a million chance. 1 in 10 million chance. And he's a doctor. I guess the suit doesn't matter. But if we get hit by some major extinction level event, and I thank God I was able to get to a bunker, I'm going to be wearing a Tyvek suit for the near future. Like, that, you know what I mean? Like, if there's something out here that's killing off millions of people, and when the system went down, like the Babylon, like that story, like the Babylon virus hits, and people are dying by the millions, hundreds of thousands a day. I'm not gonna go in like Shrimp Zoo does that. Shrimp Zoo did a video yesterday. He does them. I don't watch him all the time. Where he had on the Tyvek suit, the mask, goggles, glass under the goggles, gloves. I don't wear the gloves. I got gloves. But if by July, if what I'm hearing is true, that they're thinking it'll be 300,000 a day, I can see myself wearing gloves. I can see myself, like, as soon as I come in, jumping in the shower, like, what he's doing, a part of me is like, that's kind of crazy. But what I'm looking at, we're on our own. We're on our own. So I can, just like that, if we got a pandemic in the future, like 12 Monkeys, or there's a book I like quite a bit. It's called Brief History of the Dead. If a brief history of the dead happened and something sweeps the globe and people are just dying like that, yo, I'm wearing a tie vest suit everywhere I go. Because one thing about this pandemic I learned is that the government will lie. You know, first say you don't need masks, I say you do need masks. So if the government says something, I'm following the science. I'm not following what they say. It's a good chance this thing could get through the skin. You know, who knows? Who knows? The coronavirus is nothing like what it's not a, what's that book I was looking at? The event. It's something like Cobra event. It's just like Cobra event. But if we face something like that, yo, we ain't just going to the store and fucking around. We're going to put everything in a UVC box. I got a UVC light box, you know. But I think I edited that. I went on longer than I meant to. I just wanted to give y'all an idea of what I thought about I Am Legend as a black man that is somewhat minded minded towards prepperism. What my opinion of that was.